Hello class, it's Professor Streeter again. This video is going to focus on the discussion forums. Each week, part of your classroom grade will be based on the posts that you submit, online posts in the discussion forums. And so that's my way of tracking how engaged you are with the readings. It's also a way for you to track what other students are doing and to engage your own progress, right? If you, the more comfortable you are expressing your thoughts in the discussion forum, I think you'll find that the more comfortable you are with the course and the more confident you'll be with the other written assignments and with the reading assignments. So it's not only a way for me to see what you're thinking, but it's a way for you to kind of gauge your own progress in the course and to interact with other students. We're not going to be physically together in a classroom, so this is a way for you to interact more with students outside the class. Let me put myself in the bottom of the screen and show you how to find the discussion. There are a number of discussions. You can look at all of them in the communication menu. You click communication, then click discussions here at the top. And the first discussions are general. So the class cafe is here for you to raise questions about the course, general questions about the course. I do have some frequently asked questions here, but anything that you're concerned about or worried about or confused about, you can throw it into the class cafe and I can respond to it. Other students can respond to it. If you're not comfortable publicly sharing these kinds of questions, you can, of course, email me class cafe kind of questions. In the first week, I'd like all of you to introduce yourselves in the class introductions discussion. And so here's just a template for how to think about, and how to introduce yourself. And I'll talk about that during the first class. If you have specific feedback about the design for this course, please feel free to share it. I always want to make things better. So if you feel like there are issues with the design for this course, you can share it in here, or just suggestions for how to tinker with the design for the course. I encourage you to share your feedback here. Okay, these first few discussions are not going to be assessed. They're not part of your grade, okay? This is just a chance for me to get to know you and for you to share your feedback about the class. The discussions below here, the Monday feedback, and coming down here, the Wednesday discussion. These are part of your weekly classroom grade, right? So you will be assessed for these. The Monday feedback, though, I really just want to see that each week, each Monday, starting in the second week of the semester, you share a question or a comment that you have about the readings. And, the goal is to provoke a conversation online in our virtual class. But I really want to hear from you here. And this requires that you've done some reading, that you've thought about the reading, okay? For the first feedback, I've given you some guidance, and I will try to give you some guidance for the Monday feedback. But sometimes the Monday feedback will just be, share a question, share a comment about the reading, okay? And the goal then is to post that in the beginning of the week. Okay, it's called Monday feedback because I want to see what you're thinking early in the week so that I can incorporate your thoughts into the Wednesday class and think about what you're thinking as I prepare for the Wednesday class. Okay, so how do you post? Well, you click the topic and that takes you here, and then you've got the questions here. Or my guidelines for how to think about this week's feedback topic. And then once you're ready to write, you click Start a New Thread, enter a subject, my thoughts for the week, or something. And then you come down here into this text box, and I really enjoyed reading Gilgamesh this week. Here's my first impression. Here's a question I had about the poem. Okay? And so share your thoughts. Share a comment, share a question. Then when you're done, you scroll down and click post, and there it is for everybody to read. Okay, now within the Monday feedback, I encourage you to interact with each other. So once you've posted your own thought for the week, you can go in and read other people's questions and comments. And part of your Monday feedback, credit for each could be you're participating by replying to something that somebody else said. So if you want to do that, if you want to reply to another student's Monday feedback post, you click it, and then you've got what that person wrote, and you click reply. Same thing, you can rewrite the subject, or you can leave the subject as it is. I thought your comment was great. Try to say something substantive, but also be thoughtful of the other student. So it's okay to disagree or to present a different interpretation, or to build on what they're saying, or to extend it, or to relate it to something you were thinking. Okay? Be constructive and be thoughtful, but try to say something substantive and meaningful to move a conversation forward. The idea here is to begin a conversation, and then you can move it forward. And then once you've written your reply here, you just click post, and there it is. Okay, so I can go back and look at this thread. Other students can look at this thread. That's the Monday feedback forum. Let me go back to the discussion topic. Okay, so I'm scrolling down. Okay, so each Monday or Tuesday early in the week, try to post something for the class to read. Okay, then the Wednesday discussion, you can begin this in the beginning of the week, but I'll talk about it during the Wednesday's class. And then the idea is that you either before the class or after class, by the end of the week, you post in this discussion forum. Okay, and so first you're going to post a response to one of my discussion questions. Try to do that before class on Wednesday, but if not, you can do it after class on Wednesday. And then post your reply to another student's response by the end of the week. Okay, so there's two parts to the Wednesday discussion. All right, there is a question that we'll talk about in class that you can think about before class and post a response to, or you can wait until after class to post it. And then once you've posted, you go back into the forum and reply to something that one of the students wrote. Okay, so you'll be assessed for doing both, for posting your own response and to replying to one of the students. Okay? And so that's called the Wednesday discussion because, first of all, I'm going to give you a prompt, right, a question to think about. And it's something you do in the middle of the week or by the end of the week, whereas the Monday feedback is something that you post in the beginning of the week. Okay? And so again, this will start in the second week of the semester. For week 2, I've asked you to read Beckman's introduction and the timeline and the first 2 tablets of Gilgamesh, and think about what you've learned from the reading, and then also think about what you know from your own experience about stories. And then there's 2 questions to respond to, preferably before class, but if not, by the end of the day. Identify and briefly explain one interesting thing you learned about the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Mesopotamian culture that produced it. Why is this interesting and important? And then the second question, identify and briefly describe a story that is well known in your culture or that you identify with in some way. What's interesting and important about this story? How does it speak to you? What does it reveal about your cultural identity? Those are 2 questions, and the assignment is for you to respond to those questions in this post by Wednesday, and then go into the forum later in the week and reply to one of the students. Okay, so again, just like the Monday feedback, you click the topic. Here's, again, you can read it again. You start a new thread. You enter a subject, my discussion post of the week. Here's what I think about this. 1, 2, and you've got a couple of questions. You could number them. And then when you're done, you click post. Okay, and again, it's there for everyone to read. Okay, so those are the discussions. Let me come back here in the middle and I'll show you something. You can find, Okay, I'm gonna, I can't seem to get out of the screen now. Well, oops, that's a bummer. I was gonna show you something else on the D2L site, but I seem to have frozen up this screen. So I can explain this more in class, but now you've seen the how the discussion forums work. And again, each week post something in the Monday feedback early in the week, and then 2 posts in the Wednesday discussion by the end of the week. One, your own response to my questions, and the other is a reply to one of your classmates. Okay. Sorry, this is frozen up, but I'm going to end the video here. Okay.